You guys are going to see boy King67 here back with another video. Before we get into this video, I just want to remind you all the kings and queens, and I hope you all are having a very blessed Sunday. Now, here's my video, my reaction to the 26-7 loss that our New York Giants took to the Arizona Cardinals. Before I get into anything, I just want to say I was wrong in mostly every prediction that I made in my previous video. And I'm a man, I like to take responsibility, accountability, you know, and I was just flat out wrong with almost everything I said. But before I get into breaking down the stuff and how I feel about the game and, you know, my summary of it, the biggest, most important play of that game, it's a 3rd and 1. We're down 20-7. We have the ball at like our 15-yard line. Why 3rd and 1? Why are we throwing a deep shot to Sterling Shepard? Why are we not turning around, handing the ball to Wayne Gallman? He can't get a yard. Like, after that, that was it. That was ball game. After that, we had momentum. We got the touchdown, got the stop, right? Get the ball back, 3rd and 1. Just hand the ball off. We don't do that. Instead, we punt it away. They take off like 5 minutes off the clock. It's already like 10 minutes, 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They get a field goal. And what happened? Then we get 4 and out again. We get sacked a bunch of times. Give it back to them. Field goal. That's ball game, right? 3rd and 1. Like, why? Like, how are we not running the ball there? That baffles me. That was the play of the game for sure, 100%. Secondly, let me just say this: we definitely did not deserve to win this game today by any stretch of the imagination. You got to give a lot of credit to the Arizona Cardinals. They were on a 3-game losing streak. They came out here. They absolutely balled out on offense and on defense. And if we want to get into specifics, we'll get into that in a bit. But, you know, I like to cover Daniel Jones firstly when I do these reaction videos. Daniel Jones, I'm going to say I'm taking more positive than negative out of this game. Of course, he didn't play well. But for him to just be out there, he was nowhere near 100% healthy. Absolutely not. He wasn't comfortable in the pocket. He wasn't confident. He was holding on to the ball too long. He had a lot of pressure on him. I don't think he scrambled out of the pocket not once the whole game. So that takes away the RPO option as well when he can't run the football. That's what makes him a decent quarterback, is that his ability to use his legs is very mobile. And he was nowhere near 100% healthy. But I respect him a lot for going in and trying your best. Like, he was dying to get out there, man. If it was up to him, he would have tried playing against the Seahawks last week. But I know sometimes it's better when you're injured. If you're not the best option on your team, you know, let the best option play, which might have been Colt McCoy today, based off of Daniel Jones' inability to run due to the hamstring injury. But you know what? He wanted to give it a go, and I respect the toughness, man. Listen, you're out there injured. If you're out there, you got to be out there 100%. You can't really make excuses once you get out there. But you know what? I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan. I haven't been his biggest apologist, you know. I'm not his biggest protector. But in this, I'm just trying to use common sense here, you know. Like, I just respect him for the effort he tried putting out there today, but not everything was on his shoulders. It wasn't all his fault, and we could continue with the offense and say, I don't know what that performance was from our offensive line. The Arizona Cardinals got pressured time and time again. Daniel Jones did have the fumble, and then Deion Lewis had the kick return. The ball got kicked out of his hands. And then Colt McCoy had the late fumble in the last series of the game. But Daniel Jones, I mean, I don't think you could really judge that performance to the full judgment, you know, because he really wasn't healthy at all. So he was making good progress overall leading up to this game, or right before he got injured in the Bengals game. He was making really good progress. I think it was like 3-4 games in a row, maybe. And this game, I'm not going to count against him. I'm not going to say, yo, he's not the guy because of this performance, right? I still have hopes. I still think he was trending in the right direction. I still have my thoughts on him that his ceiling is Eli Manning. Take that as you want, as I always say. But yeah, Daniel Jones, I don't think he's the fault. The offensive line was really bad. They allowed too much pressure on Daniel Jones. Receiving-wise, we couldn't even really see what our receivers were doing too much. You know, they didn't really get too many balls thrown their way. Wayne Gallman. I thought a limited opportunity, he did what he does. You know, he's getting 3-4 yards a carry, 5 yards. He's exploding for like 12 yards here and there. He was pass catching more out the backfield, which was nice to see. He was giving Daniel Jones a quick dump off option, so he wouldn't have to hold on to the ball too much. I think that's all I'm going to say about the offense. You know, there's things, the offensive line is definitely going to hear it. It was not a good performance at all from the offensive line. But moving on to the defensive side of the football, we just could not get pressure on Kyler Murray consistently enough to bother him. You know, like, he had a pretty clean pocket, and when he didn't, you know, he would just, the QB spy wasn't doing a good enough job, whether it was Jabril, Blake Martinez, Downs, whoever it was, right? They weren't doing a good enough job. Like, Kyler didn't rip off like a 30-yard run. It was just, he consistently, every time he left the pocket, 5-6 yards. Like, you know, the one thing our defense did do good is we did stop the red zone. You know, we didn't let them allow, I think we gave him 2 touchdowns in the red zone out of like 6 trips. So it's not too bad. We're poor on third down defense. I thought we were going to be able to control line of scrimmage by stopping the run. We weren't really able to stop the run at all. We couldn't really contain Kyler Murray, and we couldn't stop D-Hop. What do you have, like 130 yards receiving? So everything I said I thought we were going to do, which was get pressure on Kyler Murray, stop the run, and be able to stop D-Hop or neutralize him, we didn't do any of those. Which, you know, those are all big reasons as to why we lost the football game. But honestly, the Arizona Cardinals played really good. They were on a 3-game losing streak. They were desperate to get a victory. Kyler Murray is a very, very, very competitive man. Every time I see him lose, he looks so pissed, like he's about to yell at everyone. So he wasn't going to let it happen, you know. I should have seen it coming, you know. 5-game win streak for the Giants. A little, you know, that's pretty crazy it would happen. But, you know, I made my prediction. I might have made my prediction a little bit of bias. But looking back, I think every single point I made in my prediction, it wasn't like astronomically like impossible. It wasn't like, yo, you're just talking rubbish, like you're just waffling at this point, like you're talking crazy, you know. Like, I feel like everything I said, it could have happened. But with Daniel Jones not being 100% healthy, couldn't run the RPOs, couldn't scramble out of the pocket, couldn't throw on the run, he was just limited. It was obvious. At the end of the game, you saw him limping, right? But I think the one player that played really, really well this game, Jabril Peppers. You gotta look at some positives, right? When most of the game was pretty negative, you know. I think Jabril Peppers played a really, really good ball game. But who else even did good? And if I'm not mistaken, this Arizona Cardinals offensive line isn't like, you know, it's not like one of the best offensive lines out there. So for us to only get 1 sack and it to come, in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, that's just really bad. And for us to give up 8 sacks, you know, that sack like difference and our difference in turnovers, we had 3, they had none. You know, you're not gonna win many ball games like that. Running the football, like, we just couldn't. Like, Daniel Jones at the end of the first half had 44 passing yards, 0 points. We scored 0 points in the last 2 first halves. It's just that's not gonna get the job done. And our next game is against. Let me just take a quick look. You know, I should be like doing prior research before I make these videos, but you know, I like doing raw reaction, and I don't edit a lot. All right, we're up against the Browns. Are we home? We are home against the Browns. Now you see, I was thinking we're out here one of the best run defenses. I'm not gonna overreact and say our team is back to being trash. You know, it's very common for a team to just have a one-off. You know, one game where they just struggle. It's completely fine. So, do I think we're gonna have a bounce-back performance next week? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we did and we upset the Browns, because Joe Judge is gonna have his guys practicing super hard this week, and I'm sure all the guys out there are gonna look at each other in practice and they're gonna be like, yo, let's turn this up. Like, we just had a disgusting game against the Cardinals. So honestly, I'm not gonna make my prediction yet. I'll leave that for another video. I gotta see Daniel Jones's his health update, you know, see how his injury's feeling. And I don't know, overall I was upset. I was a little disappointed, but my expectations might have been too high coming into the game. That's a possibility. But let me guys know what you think. Honestly, I'm still optimistic for the rest of the season. I'm not saying we're trash again. I'm not saying the offensive line is trash again. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens, all right, in the next couple games. Got to take it day by day, see how the injury reports come out, see. I'll take a look at the press conferences, Joe Judge, hear what he has to say about when he breaks down film and stuff like that, hear what Patrick Graham has to say, hear what Jason Garrett has to say, you know. But yeah, unfortunate loss this Sunday. Don't let it ruin your day or ruin your Monday. Still be happy. I think we'll probably still be first in the division after the Washington football team plays their game. But guys, if you did overall enjoy this episode, this video, make sure to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy, King 7, and I'm out. Peace.